We can also use percentages to figure out the best flavor of juice to make. I'll give you a bit of background and tell you that anything between 9% juice to say 11% juice will taste really good. You can test this more in class and figure out what the best percentage is, but anything in this range is going to taste, it's going to be good flavor. That's if you're making your own stuff. Once you get higher than 11%, it starts to taste really sugary. You get to really high percentages, it's just syrup, you know. It's just like pure sugar. You get to really low percentages, you know, the 7%, 6%, 5% range, and it becomes really watery, and that's kind of nasty too. You know, watered down juice doesn't taste very good. But anything in this range is going to have good flavor. Now we have to figure out how to calculate this stuff. If you're making the Kool-Aid stuff, what you do is you get the powder, you've made this all, you mix it in some water, but the thing is you got to weigh the stuff too if you want to figure out percentages. Because if somebody asks you to calculate the percentage, you need to think back to the percentage formula. If I give you back your exam and I say calculate the percentage on your test, don't you divide two numbers? You put your score on the top and you put the total on the bottom. And once you're done dividing them, you times by 100, and that gets you your percentage. Well, this is no different. To calculate a percentage, you have to remember this formula. The only thing now is we don't have a score. There's no score here. This isn't an exam. What you write down is sugar. We got to write down how much sugar we have. And here's how you know why, or how to do this next time. Whatever comes after the percent, if it says percentage of sugar, you write sugar. If it says percentage discount, you write discount. If it says percentage markup, you write markup on the top. The total is going to be whatever the total is, whatever you have all together in the solution, which is when you combine the two together. So let's figure this out here and calculate the percentage. So we will write equals. The percentage equals, we have in this example 24 grams of sugar. When you are in class, you will have a scale to measure the mass of all this sugar. You will mix it in water. Now, what do I write on the total? Do I write 300 grams because that's my total amount of water? The answer is no. Do I write 24 grams? No. The total is whatever I get when I combine the two together. I get 324 grams. G is grams. That's my total. Always write your units. We're going to divide them. We're going to times it by 100. Let's whip out our calculator. We can punch the buttons in. We'll go 24 divided by 324 equals times by 100. And we get 7.4%. Let's pull this out. Now look, we do have a lot of decimals. A lot of people get scared with the decimal points. You're just going to round it. We don't want decimals. We'll stop there before we get to the decimals. Now do we round up or do we keep it the same? The answer is we keep it the same because look what's next door. It's a number less than 5, so he stays 7%. So our answer will be 7% sugar. So we're borderline here. Remember we said 9 to 11% is good? You might have to taste this to see if it's good enough or if you need a little bit more sugar. Let's make the question a little bit more interesting now. Make it more challenging somewhat. A Kool-Aid drink has 12% sugar. I'm giving you the percentage. We don't have to calculate it like we did. So we don't need the percentage formula. We don't have to divide numbers in times by 100 because we've got the percentage. If the solution of sugar in water has a mass of 420 grams, how many grams of sugar did the person use? Now look, to do this, anytime you're given a percent, you are going to ask yourself the question, 12% of what? Go ahead and ask yourself that. Say, 12% of what? We do that anytime we're given a percentage in the problem. We say 12% of what? If it was 20%, we say 20% of what? So we're going to say 12% of, we know 12% of what? 12% of the 420 grams is going to be sugar. So we convert this into a decimal. Now 12% is 12 over 100. And 12 over 100 is decimal 12. So we can just write decimal 12 multiplied by 420 grams. Now, that percentage symbol, do not write it there. It is now not a percent, it is now a decimal value. You're going to whip out your calculator. We're going to punch the buttons in. We will go 0.12 multiplied by 420 grams equals that much. That has a decimal, so we can keep it if we want. Depends what the question asks. If we want to round it to the nearest whole number, we would stop right here. We would ask ourselves, does this stay 0 or does it go up to a 1? And the answer is it would stay a 0 because that is less than 5 over here. So we can say it equals to 50 grams of sugar. Can you figure out how much water there is? Yeah, there would be 420 grams. That's the total minus the 50 grams of sugar. Subtract a little bit here, you're going to get 370 grams of water. That's an extension of the problem. I didn't even ask you this, but you can figure it out. And if you put the water, mixed it with the sugar, you're going to get that total 420 grams